Yo, what is up, everybody? This is Rick's Extreme Werewolf, and last year I finally got my profile changed. But turns out this video might be good for y'all because I'm doing something different. From December, at the end of December, I started playing a game called Paladins, which of course I should have started playing it in 2015, but of course I never knew of that until I read one of H2O Delirious' videos or something. I might try to find that video later, but for now, we are going to check on... Hold on, you need to turn up the volume. Let's see, let's go to my champions, because today I'm going to show you my top attacker. Oh, and by the way, Tiberius sucks. This new character sucks when there's an enemy player. I haven't tried him, but we are going to look up my character. Drogoz, the Greedy. Here's his voice.
Drogoz.
Huh? Oh, and now that I don't have to buy that stupid voice pack, I can be able to hear him all the way with all his words. Like, you can even make him roar. Basically, let's see, let's go over his stats. Rocket launcher has area damage. Fire explosive rockets every 0.85 seconds to decimate an area, dealing 850 damage. Spit a flammable orb and shoot it to deal 900 damage enemies and to deal damage. Oh, I think that's technically an error. It should be 2 enemies, not damage enemies. And weaken them to further attacks. Oh, that makes him. Oh, I get that one. For a short duration, hitting an enemy directly deals 150 damage. Area damage, of course. Then thrust, because technically, well, we'll get to that. I'll show you about that later. Jet upwards in the air. Despite the fact that says hold A to use your booster, you can also press the left thumbstick if you're using an Xbox One controller like I am right now. Load all your rockets in, and then salvo. Load all your rockets, which is technically based on whichever amount of bullets you have in a certain clip. Like if you used a rocket, that's what I mean rocket, then you only have 4 rockets to store up for an all-out attack. But let's see. Back to the description. Load all your rockets into your launcher and unleash them with your next attack for a rapid-fire assault, like an assault rifle, dealing 250 damage per rocket. My favorite ultimate, which has to be the ultimate one of all, besides King Bomb or Reanimate, or basically anything that can deal high damage, or probably those that can either, yeah, you know what I'm just saying, you know what I mean, like, but whatever. We are also going to see Dragon Punch. Dragon Punch is my top favorite ultimate. Sure, he can't punch with a rocket in his right paw, but he can definitely do it in his left paw. And despite it not saying what damage it is, it's technically a direct damage, because you can only, and now I'm reading the description, unleash your fury to jet through the air and hunt down an enemy to execute. Note that says an enemy, not enemies. So in this case, it's a direct punch. Now let's get... Wait, there's an advanced way. And of course... let's try again. After 2 seconds, unleash your fury to jet up to 400 units through the air, dealing 100% of your target's maximum health as damage should be to the first enemy you collide with. You are immune to crowd control, which is technically handy. While flying, cannot hit targets immune to damage. Don't get that word, but cannot be mitigated. Don't know that word either. Don't know how they can be immune to damage when they have to be. Well, by reduced or mitigated by reduced damage taken. Ending this ability without hitting anyone refunds 30% ultimate charge. deals 850 damage in an area, has a maximum ammo count of 6. The explosion is fully effective up to 4 units and hits enemies up to 10 units away. You deal up to 200 self-damage if caught in your own explosion, has a range of 275 units. And before we get to salvo or something, let it be known that when it says doing up to 200 of self-damage to yourself, that still also means salvo as well. I don't think it'll work with Drogoz, really. Nope, you can't. But spit out a flammable orb that deals 150 damage and causes enemies to hit. Enemies hit to take 30% additional damage from your rockets. Drogoz can ignite fire spit with rocket launcher or salvo, which is technically kind of cool. But I recommend you better do it quick with the rocket launcher. If you're an advanced player of Drogoz, then that's probably easy to use salvo and cause more damage. Okay, but then back to it, topic. Dealing 900 damage in an area. This explosion is fully effective up to 30 units and hits enemies up to 35 units away. Has a range of 400 units. There's a talent for the fire spit. While rocket launcher and salvo have a talent of their own, share a talent, but thrust also happens to do the same thing with only its one talent. But let's get to salvo. Load all remaining rockets, which I said earlier, into your launcher and unleash them with your next attack, dealing 250 damage in an area for each rocket. The explosion is fully effective up to 10 units. Hits enemies up to 15 units away and deals 100% additional damage to shields. Like Fernando or Barrack or Vivian. Drogoz deals self-damage, which of course I told you before, but deals 150 unlike his normal rocket fire rate. Has a range of... if you're only a constant explosion, but has a range of 275 units. Salvo's rockets count as weapon shots, so technically, when it says that it counts as weapon shots, it means like after you reload, for those who never played Paladins or Drogoz, you will have to understand that it works this way. I mean, I never made the game, but yeah, let's just get somewhere else. To the last one, thrust. Jet upwards into the air. Hold A to use your booster, which slowly lifts you into the air. Passive. You have a booster that has a limited amount of fuel. Fuel regenerates when not in use. Basically, just like booster, and like I said earlier, with your left thumbstick, you can also be able to hustle with Victor or drift with whoever. I'm still going to search who does the drift. But if you know who does the drift, please leave in the comments down below. Now let's get to something else. The talents. Combustible. Like I said before, each talent is for a certain ability. Like your fire spit because you're a dragon, or fusillade, however you guys pronounce it. And worm jets. We'll get to the word with worm later. But I better hurry up with this. Combustible. Fire spit applies a knockback and deals an additional 300 damage over 2 seconds. That's technically a good thing. Like, you can be able to attack people who are hiding behind, like, obstacles, like, say, walls or bushes or trees, due to a certain map. And fusillade, or whatever the heck this means, this fudging means. Damage dealt, you know what, basically rocket and salvo. This is for both, like I said earlier, for both rocket launcher and salvo rockets. Damage dealt when hitting an enemy directly, and I mean directly, with rocket launcher or salvo is increased by 25%. Technically you start off with combustible, but once you get Drogoz to level up either through coins or by playing Drogoz and unlocking this stuff, The talents are actually free, at least. Unlike the skins and emotes and MVP poses and weapon skins too. By the way, they're not heroes, they're champions. And just to let you know, Drogoz is kind of neutral, but because of Barrack joining was once a magistrate, bad Paladins, he joined the good Paladins, which are the Resistance, which are the good Paladins. But back to the whole thing with the talents. Worm Jets. WYRM, which of course I have no idea what that means, but it still means Worm Jets. Increase your movement speed while using booster. And we will get to the certain loadouts. I mean, technically the best ones to use are Combustible and Fusillade. I mean, I mostly use Fusillade or Combustible when it's either... Probably best to use Combustible for Onslaught or Deathmatch. Or even Siege. Fusillade works that way too for Deathmatch or Onslaught and Siege. Oh, I better hurry up for this. And yeah, let's just get to the next one. Skip. See all these? These are based on the talents. I got this for my Fire Spit, Fusillade, Firepower. Fusillade. Worm Jets and Worm Jets. If you like the loadouts, you can make them yourself. Well, let's hurry. Born wingless as a mere whale and underling to a vicious dragon, Drogoz escaped his servitude using a pair of crystal field mechanical weeds crafted by a clever dwarven engineer. The dragon blood in his veins full of blah blah with cooling green. He makes his own horror one that. If you know it, I'll allow you guys to look at this because soon I'm about to run out of power on my phone because of the cost of megabytes. So I'll see you all in the next video. Tell me if you would like Drogoz and would love to play as him. Bye.